There is. Okay, so quadratic formula today. Let's do it. So this is the quadratic formula. Who has not seen it before? Good. You've seen it before. Okay, so there is a song for it, right? So what is the song that goes with it?
X equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2x.
Right. Jake's on top of it. All right. Okay, so for some reason this is
Thanks.
okay. Yep. So let's do this right now. Okay, except oh boy, I'm not sure what's going on here.
It is not having a good day.
No, it is not. Oh my god, what the heck? Okay. No, there's no. We're good. Okay. But the thing is, I don't know why it keeps doing this. Was it in this class that this happened before?
Yeah.
What did we do to stop it?
No idea.
We did something.
Ellie, you fell asleep, or you were like your head was down in one of the classes, and that's absent because on the screencast, and you're Ella, sit up.
Yep.
I knew, right? Dozing off.
Okay, I seriously don't know what is doing this. Wait, somebody last time said to do something and then it worked. Who was that? Was it you?
Try shutting it off and then restarting.
No.
That's what we have to
Easier fix than that.
I'm doing all my stuff every time my screen freezes and just like. The sky's so blue.
Just got that one, Jordan.
Yeah, but 2 years ago.
Which one?
It's outdated. I know, and then I get tired.
It's
It's dark outside. Squirrel. Oh, that's a very chubby squirrel. Where? In the tree. Jake, you really.
Oh, I see it. It's like
Jordan, I think you're seeing stuff. No, it's chubby like my dog. Luna.
Hey.
Looks like a little squirrel. I haven't seen anything.
I'm not delusional.
I see
Jake,
the squirrel. I don't see a chubby squirrel.
Oh, I see a squirrel. It is chubby.
Thank
Oh,
you,
it's
Ella.
I see a chubby squirrel. It's sitting like. Look at the dark.
Oh my god, you're so right. Wait. Wait, is that a squirrel?
Oh yeah,
It's a squirrel.
Sitting there.
Oh, it is. It moved. It's chubby. Don't see it.
No,
There was a
it
branch
did.
for a
Look at
second.
the-
It moved. I don't see it. It looks like Luna. Isn't your Luna a dog? Yeah, but Luna's very chubby.
It's
Like-
literally this little squirrel.
No.
None of my dogs are chubby, and it makes me so Molly?
Yeah.
Molly's
With
not
the
doing
party
well.
hat.
Her legs are giving out, and she has a heart problem.
Really? I
Me
didn't.
too.
Is she gonna get a?
My bird had a heart problem.
Is she gonna get a wheelchair?
Oh my god, that is
Another
the cutest
dog
thing. The dog's on the wheelchair. That's so cute. I saw it in the mall once and it was so cute.
Okay,
and it
who
was
else
like
is
the-
not here
it's
right
so
now?
cute.
Just Adam? And who else?
You want them to have like leg problems just
Do we know about Adam?
Nope.
I think I saw him driving.
Huh?
I think I just saw him driving.
Adam? I want it. Can I have it? Can you get it for me?
If you can catch it.
You go catch it, I'll pay you.
Okay, let's do this.
Ooh, it works.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but now the recorder isn't working, but it's okay. All right, let's do this. So, Right, quadratic formula. So here we go, right? For this, again, we need to know, A, B, and C, right? So this value will be A, this value will be B, this value will be C. And remember, you have to take the sign with it, right? So if it's a negative number, then C will be negative and B will be negative and so on, all right? So this is the quadratic formula. You have to memorize it. That's it. You've got to memorize the quadratic formula, okay? So, all right. So here's how we use this. Okay. First of all, in order for you to be able to use it, look at this. It has to be in standard form. So everything on the left side equal to 0. Okay. So here, first thing we're going to do is subtract 33 from both sides. So it's x squared minus 8x minus 33 is equal to 0. Okay. So, okay, hang on. Okay, so now, how much is A in this problem? Just a number. A is a number. 1. How much is B? -8. And C is -33. Okay, so go ahead and take out your calculators for this. So here we're going to have x equals, okay? So it's going to be, I don't have my calculator here. All right.
Would it be plus 8?
No, right. So it's going to be -8 plus or minus the square root of b squared -8 squared minus 4 times a times -33. Do you see how I have all the negatives? All over 2 times 1. So now, this is what we're going to put in our calculators, right? All right. Go ahead and plug these into your calculator. So, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. This is going to be +8 plus or minus the square root of. Look, just plug this into your calculator. Just that number, right? So it's going to be -8 squared and so on and so forth. How much is that? Who did it so far? Are you sure? -8 squared minus 4 times 1 times -33.
So that's 64 minus 4.
Minus 4 times 1 times -33. Why am I getting 196? Okay, I don't have my computer on here.
I mean, you can look.
I don't have my.
What are you getting?
I did it wrong.
Okay, so the -8, guys, it's in parentheses. Can you put the -8 in parentheses? Okay, so you should get 196.
That's exactly what I got.
Okay, so plug it in and you should get 196. Okay. So that's going to be 196 all over 2. So now this is 8 plus or minus. What's the square root of 196? Go ahead and plug it into your calculator. What's the square root of 196? 14 all over 2. Okay, so now I have 2 answers here. One is 8 plus 14 over 2. The other one is 8 minus 14 over 2. Do you see how that gets split? So now you're going to plug these in. 1 has 8 plus 14 in parentheses divided by 2. 1 is 8 minus 14 in parentheses divided by 2. So for the first one, what do we get? X equal to what? 11. And for the second one? -3. Okay? All right, we're going to do another one. So here we go. X equals, so A is 1, B is 6, C is -16. So X equals -B, that's -6, plus or minus the square root of, what's B squared? 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times -16. All over 2. Okay, so go ahead and plug that highlighted stuff into your calculator right now.
I got 100.
Okay.
Nice. Right.
50 times.
2,000. No, it's not.
It's like 2,500.
So first do it without the square root. Okay, so this is going to be -6 plus or minus the square root of 100 all over 2. So now let's simplify. X equals -6 plus or minus the square root of 100 is 10, right? So we have two answers now. X equals -6 plus 10 over 2. X equals -6 minus 10 over 2. Okay, so when you plug this into your calculator, make sure you put parentheses, okay, and you plug it in like that. So for the first one, what do we get?
2.
And for the last one? -8. Okay? All right, one more. So what is A?
1.
B?
-16.
And C is 64. Okay, so X equals -B, so that's +16. Plus or minus the square root of -16 in parentheses squared minus 4 times 1 times 64 all over 2. Okay, so that's 16 plus or minus the square root of something over 2. Right now we're just plugging this in. Make sure you put a -16 inside the parentheses. Okay? All right. Hang on. Give everybody a chance to plug it in first. Oh, where's your calculator? Okay. No. Okay.
I don't know like which charger it is.
Huh?
I don't have this charger.
Okay, so Ella, it's November 27th. We started school.
I had it before. But
Okay.
I lost it.
So, I'm not gonna lie, guys. My patience is also you're losing your charges. I'm losing my patience when it comes to calculators, right? Because I can't keep doing this with juniors and seniors. I can't keep talking about calculators with you guys.
Mine's on.
So the -6 has to be in parentheses. Do you see? It's So here it's a negative 16. Plug this in. Plug this in exactly like this. The negative 16 in parentheses.
How come, I have a question.
Yeah.
I did it like that, then how come when I press enter, like, go on the
It does that.
It does that.
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I could do it.
Okay, so this will be 0, right? When we plug it in. Okay, so that means x equals 16 plus or minus 0. That's it. That goes away. Over 2. So x equals 8. You only get one answer this time. Okay? You only get one answer. Huh? There's going to be some that you're going to do on your own. We're going to do this one together too. Huh? We are doing D. We're doing D next. Okay, so A is 1, B is negative 4, C is 13. Okay, so x equals negative 4 makes positive 4. The square root of negative 4 in parentheses squared minus 4 times 1 times 13. Okay, all over 2. So go ahead and just plug this one into your calculator. So you get 4 plus or minus the square root of something over 2. Okay. Okay, so we got negative 36, yes? Okay, so now we have an I. Okay, so if it's negative 36, that means we're going to have an I. So look, it's 4 plus or minus the square root. Okay, so negative comes out as an I. And then what's root 36? 6. So this is going to be 6I all over 2. Now, this is a very, very important piece right here. Okay? The 4 and the 6, these are, one is real, one is imaginary. We've got to separate them. We've got to separate them. That means, here's how you separate it. You have to do 4 over 2 plus or minus 6I over 2. Yeah? Okay, so what's 4 over 2? Plus or minus 3I. So now what are the two answers? 2 plus 3I, 2 minus 3I. Okay, so this is why I didn't want you guys to do this one on your own, because there was an I in there. Now that we've done all of the possibilities, next one, you're on your own.
So for if x would be 2 plus or minus 3i.
Yeah, that's how you would write your answer. Okay, so here, I'll start you guys off. The first thing we're going to do is add 1 to both sides. So we get this. So, and always write this. A equals 1. B equals negative 8, C equals 1. Okay, this is not beneath you to write this. It's going to help you. So, all right, are you ready? We're going to race to this. On your marks, get set, go. B squared minus 4. When you get to this part, well, where you have like the number plus or minus the square root of a number over 2, just stop. Okay, stop here. Okay? Yeah, it's going to be a decimal, but we're not going to do it. We're not going to make it a decimal. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so if you can do the factor tree, go on. Okay. Okay, did everybody do at least this much? Okay, and so put it in. Negative 8 has to be in parentheses. Negative 8 together squared. Did you put it? Okay, what did you get for this? So what did we get? So negative 8 has to be in parentheses, which means it'll be positive 64 minus 4. Okay?
Well, she just put it. She just.
Okay, so here we're gonna get we're gonna get 8 plus or minus 60 over 2. Now, the 60 we have to simplify using the factor tree. Remember? So this is gonna be 2 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 5. So whoever has a pair comes out. So let's see, x is 8 plus or minus, and then here we have a 2. So these have a pair, they come out. The square root of the 3 and the 5 don't have a pair. You multiply them and they stay in as a 15. Now, again, we have to separate this and we have to simplify. So x equals 8 over 2 plus or minus 2 root 15 over 2. X equals 4 plus or minus root 15. And this is how we're going to leave it. Okay? All right. The next one. A is 2, B is 25, C is 33. Okay, so let's do this quickly. X equals negative B is negative 25, plus or minus the square root of, big number here, 25 squared minus 4 times 2 times 33. Yep. All over 2 times 2. Don't forget that 2 at the bottom. Okay, so go ahead and plug in the filling of the square root, but don't give me your answers yet. Don't call out your answers. I want everybody to do it first. Okay?
Do we still need to put it in quotes?
You mean in parentheses? Not if it's positive. Okay? Okay, so see, now you're going to get confused with the, no, okay, the stuff in here, like you only took a square root, so it's either going to be the square root of 361 or just 19. Okay, be careful. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to get 361 here inside the square root. And then you have to try. Does that solve? Yes, it does. So this is going to be negative 25 plus or minus 19 over 4. Now, let me ask you guys something. Look at the 25 and the 19 and the 4. Can all three of these numbers be divided by the same number? No. So you just leave it like that. Okay? All right, let's do the next one. Yeah, these are fun. That's it. This is the final answer. Listen, when I'm walking around, I'm seeing a little bit of an issue which is going to get us into trouble. So let me explain that right here. So x equals negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 5 squared minus 4 times 3 times 4. All over 2 times 3. Now look, guys. X equals negative 5 plus or minus the square root of something all over 6. Right here. Here's where some of you are getting into trouble. When you plug this into your calculator, do not put in the square root. Do not put in the square root. Just put in the highlighted filling. Imagine it's a jelly donut. You're just going to put in the filling. No square root. Okay? Because then, if it's a decimal, it's going to get you into trouble. Okay? So go ahead and plug it in and just write in your answers right now. I want to see your answers. I don't want to see anything else? Okay, put this into your calculator. This. The 5 squared minus 4 times 3 times 4. What did you get? This is a 3 here. Because 4, 8. It's supposed to be 4 times 3 times 4.
It doesn't let me put it in my phone. I didn't do the square root. Oh, I thought you meant like the thing.
Okay, so you're just look at my highlighted.
Oh, sorry.
5 squared. This is exactly why. Right? This is exactly
No, I thought
why.
you were talking about the square, like the two. Like on top.
No, that's a square, not a square. So 5 squared. Here, I'll highlight the square so it's more obvious. Okay. So 5 squared. So what do we get for this? Negative 23, which your calculator is not going to be able to do the square root of negative 23 because that's an imaginary number. So x is negative 5 plus or minus. What happens to that negative? Comes out as an I root 23 over 6. Now, this one, we had nothing to multiply with each other or divide with each other, so we just left it. Were there any i's over here? No, these are all real numbers. They get along real nice. The i's and the real numbers don't get along so well. Remember, they're cordial, but not really friends. So you got to separate the real numbers. So negative 5 over 6 plus or minus I root 23 over 6. Okay, last one. So A is 1, B is negative 8, C is 9. X equals negative B, which means positive 8, plus or minus the square root of negative 8 squared minus 4 times 1 times 9 all over 2. Okay, x equals 8 plus or minus the square root of some number all over 2. So again, just this, guys, negative 8 in parentheses squared okay. What do we get here? 28. Okay, so the 28 needs to be simplified. 2, 14, 2, 7. So x equals 8 plus or minus 2 root 7. Is that right? All over 2. Now, I'm going to show you another way to do this. The 2's form a pair. They come out. 7 is only stays in. Okay, I'm going to show you another way to do this. Do you see how the 8, the 2, and the 2 can all be divided by the same number? What is that number that they can all be divided by? A 2. Now, so instead of separating and then dividing, you can do it right on the spot here. So we're going to divide this by 2 and get a 4. We're going to divide this by 2 and get a 1. We're going to divide this by 2 and get a 1. You cannot do this if you can't do it to all 3. This is an all or nothing deal. Not the 7. The 7's inside. The 7's in jail. You can't mess with us people out of jail, right? So these are like our, citizens here. So if you can't divide the same number to this, and this, you don't do it to any of them. All or nothing. Very communist here. Okay? Now listen, I'm not, don't go home and say, Miss Maliki is a communist or something, right? This is not what's happening here. Okay? So let me do this. So x equals 4 plus or minus root 7. So if you had something like this, 3 plus or minus 2 root 7 over 3. Could you simplify this? No. What if you had this? Could you simplify now? No. Still no, because, okay, the 6 can be divided, but it's in jail. We can't mess with the people in jail. There is no...
If that was a 9, then yeah.
If what wasn't... Well, yeah. Yeah, sure. Right. Okay, now, what about this discriminant business?
Oh boy.
The stuff, remember all this, the stuff inside the square root, not the square root itself, just the filling that you've been, plugging into your calculator every single time, it has a special name. It is called the discriminant. It's just the stuff inside. It's just the filling only, right? Now, the discriminant has special characteristics, right? If the discriminant is positive, the graph looks like this, and there are two real zeros or roots. Let's make them roots. Okay? If the discriminant is 0, there is one real root. If the discriminant is negative, there are two imaginary or complex roots. Okay, what am I talking about here? Let's go up here for a minute, right? Look at this. Look here. The discriminant is a positive number, right? Positive 196. How many solutions did we get? Two real numbers, 11 and negative 3. Both of those are real. Here, the discriminant was 0. How many solutions did we get? One real, just x equals 8. That's it. Here, the discriminant was negative. What solutions did we get? Two imaginary. All right? So, okay, so b squared minus 4ac is the discriminant. So here, we're going to find the value of the discriminant. The value of the discriminant is just b squared minus 4ac. There is no other part to it. What's b here? What's a here? B, c, negative 1. So b squared minus 4ac is 8 squared minus 4 times negative 5 times negative 1. That's it. There is no square root. Don't put a square root. So this gives you, right. So this is the discriminant. Okay. Is the discriminant positive, negative, or 0? Positive. That means there are two real zeros. Cool? Now, so that's this part. Describe the number and type of roots. That's what we did over there. Two real zeros. Okay, here, b squared minus 4ac. So a is 7, b is negative 11, c is 5. Negative 11 in parentheses squared. Minus 4 times 7 times 5. You're sure? Can somebody confirm? Okay. So that's the discriminant. Is it positive, negative, or 0? What does that mean? In the chart, what does that mean if it's negative? Two imaginary roots. Cool? So the discriminant has like some special powers.